Let's get salty!
Everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video. And is the world coming to an end in the Hearthstone world? Is it the end of days? Should we be worried about Hearthstone? Well, we had a recent kind of graph of like play rates in different modes put out by one of the major deck trackers out there, and also just want to discuss kind of a little bit of the doom and gloom I've been seeing in the comments down below, brought on by things like duels coming to an end in April, unless they decide to change their mind, which I doubt they will at this point. But we're gonna go over it. The health of Hearthstone. Am I worried about it? Am I gonna join Regis to be a Marvel Snap? No, never. Apps. If I ever stop making Hearthstone content, it won't be Marvel Snap content instead. I can tell you that much. But anyways, we're gonna get into all of that. If you enjoy the content on the channel, if you like, I've earned your subscription, please hit that sub button down below. Give the video a like, it helps us out a lot. So there's been a relatively, negative stance around Hearthstone this last week or so. Anytime something's taken out of the game, it sucks. It's not good. It feels bad. Duels is literally going to be taken out of the client in April. It wasn't that long ago. We also lost Fireside gatherings, which have been around for a very long time. Allowed for early pack openings, but friendly games, cool custom tavern brawls. But it also brought in mass pack opening, which is just freaking awesome. I love that. I don't know if it's a fair trade, but we did get that new thing. And we had a video on all the new stuff we got in Hearthstone this last year. It's actually like a ton of good stuff, but losing duels, losing classic, which we basically did, mercenaries, the 10 people that played that were upset that lost support. And Twist being a complete absolute dud, which is going to be even more reaffirmed when we take a look at this graph. So there's some negativity. So let's look at these numbers. So Firestone, they're one of the major deck trackers out there. There's also Hearthstone Deck Tracker, which is the one I mostly use. They're both really good. You can't go wrong with either one of them. And they basically put out an update on the game modes played by Firestone users since early November. Arena's still going strong, and duels players are not getting discouraged. We'll look at it in detail. As usual, this isn't representative of the whole Hearthstone player base, so be careful with the conclusions you draw from it. I'm going to conclude these are 100% accurate, but no, it's only going to track the people that use their tracker. That's going to be like a very small percentage of the player base. Some modes are more likely to use it than others, but if we take a look at this graph, there's some really good things here. In particular, for someone who loves the arena, who started playing Hearthstone through the arena, watching Crip, watching Amaz, watching Trump, Hafu, Ratsma, all these awesome Hearthstone arena players. Once that arena update went live, like in November, if you forgot, basically every time you draft an arena now, you will always start with the legendary being offered, no matter what. And then from there, it's 29 other cards. You never get offered more than one legendary. So every deck you face, they have a legendary, and you're always guaranteed to get one. And you can kind of build around it since it's your first pick. That's really cool. And also kind of scary. In an update, probably very soon, they did say when they're shutting down duels, the 30th pick, I believe, is going to be a duels treasure. So that'll be kind of different, but Arena's been getting a lot more love lately, and it's paid off. Like, you take a look, at least, so I'm looking at this as like Firestone users, right? It's not like the greatest indicator. Like, okay, so there's more arena hours than Battlegrounds here. I do not believe Battlegrounds sees less play than Arena at any point. I think a lot of people play Battlegrounds on their phone, their tablet. They're not going to use Deck Tracker. I think Deck Tracker is much more likely to be used for the Arena, for ladder, which is why I think these numbers are going to favor that so much more. But the really cool thing you see here, a huge spike, right? Even with Firestone users, Arena more than doubled its play rate. And the cool thing, you look at it from November all the way up until now, it's basically retained it. It's dipped here and there, but it's also gone up. Like the amount, like from this point, before that update, around 15,000 hours played, per day or whatever that means. Yeah, per day. It's been almost double that for the most part since then, right? Like that's 30K. That's awesome. Like that shows that there is still that love for the arena out there, and the community gets some love, gets something that's cool, and it is 100% been a great change. There's the annoyance of like the cheaters with their super drafts, and you know, the card power level a little bit crazy created by, or Midnight Wolf. I know I see like Reddit posts about Midnight Wolf all the time. Yeah, a little bit crazy, but still, it's a lot better, and it's been great. I've been streaming Arena more than any other mode. It's been good, and it's good to see that pay off. And you look at Standard too. You look at Standard, from the increase it got from the expansion, it really hasn't fallen off a ton. There's been dips, but normally see it dip a lot more than this over like a 2-month period. Despite the complaints about everything with Hearthstone, at least with Firestone users, Constructed seems to be pretty darn popular, and Battlegrounds is doing well as always. There's a bit of the spike when the spells were introduced, so I think the modes that Hearthstone has been focusing on. So this is what my key takeaway here from this first part is: when Hearthstone wants to focus on modes and make them work, they work and people play them. You look at Standard, you look at Battlegrounds and Arena, they've been putting effort into all those modes. See play, they're rewarded with that. The problem is, and you know, we're cutting the ties off, is the bottom, right? The modes they don't give support, the modes that they don't see as worth their time, have no shot. You look at Wild. Wild is the most played other mode, has been given nothing, no support, almost like for 2 years. We got like 1 or 2 little balance patches. We got a Wild only expansion that was just for Twist, really. You look at these numbers, it's not much better. And by the way, my head's covering it, nothing much changes down below. So you can see Wild like has a very significant player base, and this isn't just bots, because bots don't use deck trackers, at least not that I'm aware of. And it's consistent, but again, when you're seeing no support, no real spike. Even for the expansion, right? Showdown the Badlands, there wasn't a big spike because most of the cards aren't super relevant in Wild other than like Reno, right? The Reno Lone Ranger is pretty impactful. There's a couple other cards, but not enough to really spike that interest in the format. And then it gets worse, right? Duels. Duels is the blue one here. It's been stagnant forever, and Duels hasn't had any support in over a year. No new content. There's there's like sometimes some balance patches, but usually they just nerf stuff and don't buff anything, so they just make it less fun, right? Like they killed so many cool strategies in Duels and offered nothing in replacement. So yeah, the mode's been stagnant and it's going to be removed. This blue line is going to be gone. And you might be asking, Zeddy, didn't they launch a brand new mode in August, or not August, September? It went live. They have the beta in July in Twist. Where's that? Well, Twist is this color here, and you can look all the way down at the bottom, all the way down here. And this is not in January when they shut it down. January is like way to the right where my face is covering. That's Twist. They have botched Twist so unbelievably badly. It is played at the same level as Mercenaries, and it was actually worse than the PvE until they nerfed the AFKing, and then it died entirely. And Mercenaries PvP, a mode that is just like joked about. People laugh at it. Hearthstone Twist, this new mode that I was super excited about, but again, they have done literally nothing to support the mode other than launching it and putting out like really expensive signature bundles, almost no balance patches, like no way to actually access the mode, no promotion, no events. Yeah, the mode is as dead as Mercenaries already, less than half a year later. It is unbelievably embarrassing to see a mode that players had clamored for forever, like a rotating format. We would love it. They implemented it. We've gone over it a bunch of times, how they went over it in the worst possible way. And you can see that. So you can see probably why they're like, you know what? We're not good at pushing multiple modes. They're all dying. And that's why they're killing off the Mercenaries. That's why they're killing off the Duels. That's why I think they're going to kill off Twist. I think Twist will be very short-lived. Like, unless, I don't know how they turn it around. They're probably going to try and sell another Wild-only expansion. And I can't imagine anyone other than like me and like a couple other diehards will buy it, and I'll just be doing it for the content. I don't even play Twist. I haven't hit Legend the last 2 seasons, and you can't even play it this month. So you can see the absolute discrepancy, right, between the modes that Blizzard deems is worthy of support and the ones that are, right? And or aren't or whatever. And the ones that they give support seem to do really well. And the ones they decide should die, yeah, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you don't support it, you don't give it anything, it's going to stay stagnant. It's not going to do well. And it is what it is, right? But how's the Hearthstone future? Is Hearthstone should be worried about? No. The modes that bring in all the money for Hearthstone, the modes that the devs and like, not so much the devs or like the higher ups are deeming are worth their time and what they want to make money with, they're all doing great, at least in terms of this. And I mean, you take a look at like catch-up packs, that's been an incredible addition. I've had more new players comment on videos in my streams than ever. It's done really well. The new player apprentice track is done really well. Hearthstone, even like you take a look at like Google Trends, YouTube videos, views, Twitch views, the metrics are all pretty high for this time of year, like much higher than normal. And Firestone also kind of relays that in terms of the popular modes. It's just the ones that Blizzard don't deem worthy, they're just dying a horrible death. And yeah, if you're wary about like, you know, investing in Twist, investing more in Wild, even though like, I don't know, what are you going to do in WoW besides play, you know, against even Shaman bots all day? I wouldn't get too crazy about it because you never know. I mean, Wild they can't kill because they have to justify rotating cards. That will always stay. But Duels gone, Mercs gone, Twist probably isn't going to last that long at this rate. It's pretty jarring to take a look at that. So if you are a standard, a Battlegrounds player or an arena player, you're feeling pretty good about Hearthstone these days, and that's, you know, I consider myself all modes player, so half of me's happy, half of me's pretty upset, and I don't think this pattern's going to change anytime soon, so I think Hearthstone's doing just fine. It's just the bad modes are getting worse, and Blizzard has no interest in improving those things. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments down below. Do you wish they would give Wild more support? You know, not delete Duels. I wish they would do that. Or, you know, do something with Twist. Anyways, let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.